And as if by magic, I'm back again. Hi, folks, it's James JT at the movies, and this is the second of two vlogs filmed back to back. This is for day 19, actually on day 19 though. And today's challenge is to watch a film set in the future. So there's a list a mile long, really, isn't there, for films that are set in the future? I could have chosen so many different films, and I decided that because it was such a broad category, I would go with watching a film that I've not seen before, and then that way I can watch something new and experience it for the first time. And I went for Gattaca. So this is a 1997 film written and directed by Andrew Niccol, starring Uma Thurman, Ethan Hawke, Jude Law and Alan Arkin, amongst others. And it's a quirky little science fiction story about basically a future where babies can be conceived without any chance of health issues and, sort of diseases and, issues with sight or, genetic problems that are inherited and things like that. And so traditional conception is no longer the norm. And our film's protagonist, Vincent, is played by Ethan Hawke, and he is a baby that was conceived naturally. And when he was sort of tested when he was born, they said that he's going to have all sorts of things wrong with him, and he'll basically have no quality of life, and then will probably pass away in his early 30s. And it's his mission in this to basically prove everybody wrong, but it's a world where these medical facts are taken very seriously, and there's so much prejudice, and they will not give you a chance. These sort of like high-flying, successful jobs. In particular in this film, it focuses on working for the space company GATTACA, and they won't let you apply for these jobs if you haven't got the medical specifications that are required. And so he plays the company on a bit of a long con, really, and sort of through nefarious means, teams up with a man called Jerome, who he assumes the identity of, who's a paraplegic. But other than that, he has all the qualities that this company are looking for and that society is looking for him to fulfill his dream and become the space traveller for this company. And then Uma Thurman's one of his colleagues who he starts having a romantic interest with along the journey of the film. And of course, there's a murder throughout the film, and it's kind of irrelevant to the film who did the murder, and it's never actually revealed, to be fair, which is why it's irrelevant. But his real DNA, that's Ethan Hawke's character's real DNA, is discovered at the scene, and so the police are then on the hunt for Ethan Hawke's real identity, all the while he's sort of under their noses in the fake identity. And then it's the reveal at the end, and sort of who can he trust and who can't he trust. It was fairly by the numbers, was this. I was able to predict the plot points and where it was going to go. In fact, the only reveal that got me was that the cop was his brother. Because Ethan Hawke's character has a brother that was then conceived through this sort of like artificial sort of conception, and was born basically sort of perfect, and grew up to be this really successful detective. And when it was sort of revealed, like I say, that the cop was his brother, that was the only bit where I was like, oh, didn't see that coming. But other than that, it was fairly by the numbers, and I knew that he was going to get where he was going eventually, and that his love interest was going to see him for who he really was, and whatever else, and that they were going to call back to things earlier in the film. You could see the set-offs and the setups and the payoffs, so that, sorry if I could speak, you could see them coming a mile off. But I still enjoyed it. Probably not one that I'm going to rush to revisit, but I had a pleasant viewing experience watching it. I would say it's a solid sort of 7 out of 10 movie, if that makes sense. Maybe 6.5, 7 out of 10. Well acted, interesting enough story, kept me hooked throughout, but ultimately didn't sort of blow me away. Unlike yesterday's film, Parasite, it didn't leave me wanting more, sort of thing. I was sort of thinking they could have done more with it, but I'm actually quite glad this is over, is how I sort of came out of it. So there we are. That's my sort of thoughts on Gattaca, today's film. And you'll have to let me know your thoughts down below on it. What film would you guys have picked? The category was to watch a film set in the future, and like I say, that list is so broad. It could be practically anything really, couldn't it? So what would you guys have picked out of curiosity? Drop the video a thumbs up as well, as always, if you've liked it. And if you are new to the channel, please think about subscribing. It would mean an awful lot to me if you did that, as it helps the channel to grow and I can keep you around for longer and get to know you over more videos as well. Take care of yourselves, folks, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 20. Bye for now.